The truck was actually coming from Ring Road. It missed a step. So as it was trying to gather itself, it fell.
What we are witnessing these days, it is something we can no longer understand.
They should stop telling us and promising us all those promises are fake, giving us details of promises are fake. We don't want it anymore.
Good evening and thank you for joining us on BTV Major News at 6. My name is Zainab Mohammed. Now the news in details. The Okainoregwa of Itesi and other communities in Benin Kingdom, Chief Igio Sawonyi has visited 3 communities, Utesi, Orio Osewende and Orio Zolua, in Ipobaoka, Wande local government area. BTV News Daniel Shadrack reports that the visit was used to deliver official messages from the Oba of Benin, His Royal Majesty Omonoba Nedo Ewaye II, on the need for peaceful coexistence and unity amongst the people. Just as the Oka also addressed pressing traditional and administrative concerns within the communities. Let's join Best Orator for details.
The team from the palace of the Oba of Benin, His Royal Majesty Ewaye II, which had the Okawo of Utesi, Chief Igie Osamoyi, and the Okawo of Ologbo Dukedom, Chief Emmanuel Iyase, first made a stopover to Tesi community in Ikpobaha local government area, where it was observed that an unapproved name, Urokota, had been inscribed on the community town hall without the consent of the Oba of Benin. The Okawo of the community, Chief Igie Osamoyi, and Chief Emmanuel Iyase ordered the immediate removal of the inscription, a directive that was promptly complied with. They further assured the community that they will return to engage them on peace building and address lingering issues concerning Odionwe. Following their engagement in Utesi, Chief Igie Osamoyi and Chief Emmanuel Iyase and others proceeded to Orion Sevende and Orion Zolua communities, where they were warmly received by the elders and other locals. The Okaos conveyed the message of the Oba of Benin to them, emphasizing the need for peace, unity, and adherence to establish traditional structures. They stressed that harmony and cooperation remain vital for the progress and stability of the communities. They also noted that the Odionwe in the communities and the elders have to commence the process of appointing additional community leaders to strengthen grassroots administration and ensure effective local governance. The Okaos urged the residents to remain united and supportive of traditional institutions, assuring them of the Oba of Benin's continued commitment to peace and orderly leadership across all communities within the kingdom.
Because we're we don't type I will come Madi no matter anything we are to not to go back to the not to go to the watch. But I say one if no cake it can get already Kikina, if no Siazori, Ari Tam, Noka. So, Ari do more, Naming and Nase, Ekwa.
Residents and community leaders expressed appreciation to the Oba of Benin, Isoyo Majesty, Omonoba Nedu Ukwakpolokpolo EY II, for his concern for peace and good governance at the grassroots level. They thanked him for sending the Okaos to address issues affecting their communities. Speaking with Beetv News after the engagement, some elders and others pledged their loyalty to the Oba of Benin, assuring of their readiness to work closely with the palace and the Okao to maintain harmony and also to respect traditional institutions.
Where Oba Ozoma Video Okao, Doguma Dolewoji, Echo Wasimonyemi, Owasamonyemi, Wago Yokakabo. Maybe beggar where all material where in my workbook or material so.
I want to sincerely thank His Royal Majesty for bringing this new dawn in Oriozola community. The Okao Noregwa that he has sent to our village, we are ready to work.
The intervention and reaffirmed their commitment to peace, unity, and obedience to the directives of the Oba. They also pledged to work closely with Chief Igi Osamoyi and other relevant authorities to ensure stability, proper leadership, and harmonious coexistence within their community.
The chairman of Oredo Local Government Council, Honorable Engineer Gabriel Uduseri, has successfully brokered peace between traders and the Oredo Local Government Task Force following a recent clash at Itebite Street.
Called on January 14, 2026, when task force operatives, accompanied by a cameraman, came under attack while carrying out a routine enforcement exercise to clear traders displaying goods on the walkway. The confrontation temporarily disrupted commercial activities in the area and raised concerns over public safety. In a swift move to prevent further escalation, the chairman of Oredo Local Government, Honorable Engineer Gabriel Uduseri, intervened and convened a peace meeting involving representatives of the affected traders, task force officials, and other relevant stakeholders. The dialogue culminated in a mutually agreed peace accord with all parties reaffirming their commitment to lawful trading practices, respect for constituted authority, and the rejection of violence. Speaking at the meeting, the council boss reiterated his administration's commitment to inclusive governance, peaceful conflict resolution, and the creation of a conducive business environment across Oredo local government area. He assured traders of continuous engagement and fair enforcement of regulations.
And I've given you this advice as a businessman because I want you to succeed. Yes. Dialogue is the best. Yes. It's not altercation or confrontation. It's not. So as I'm talking here right now, I also want you all to implement such. But both sides have a loss, both sides have a gain. All the same, we remain one family. You need to sound into them. Let them know. No government is weak. Nobody can fight government at all. And I don't want you to be the first. So please, let's always be positive in our thinking. Please. And I pray that God will continue to keep every one of us.
In their response, the traders expressed appreciation to the chairman for what they described as a highly productive and timely intervention. They commended his leadership, magnanimity, and dedication to peace, pledging their support and commitment to the policies of the local government and respect for human dignity.
The local government chairman called on traders, and his wisdom preferred and decided that it's best we have the issue settled on dialogue. So the dialogue we had today, and it was a very fruitful dialogue. In fact, much impressed by the wisdom of the local government chairman.
Good thing that has happened today was his number was thrown open to everybody, and he collected ours and said that if you call him, you can't get him, text me on WhatsApp, that he will be able to respond when he has chance. So we are very grateful for a day like this.
Chairman talked to us, spoke to us where we all understand that we are ready to work with the chairman. We, the traders in Union, in Mission Road and Evaro, we appreciate the chairman of this Oredo and we are ready to work with him. We all thank him very much for inviting us to this place.
They've also made promises that whenever we want to come, we should let them know. They will join us in clearing the streets, because when the streets are not properly cleared, no matter the beautification the chairman is doing, no matter the work, it will not be seen. So he wants Oredo to shine just like Edo is shining, and the traders in turn, their different sectional head, has pledged to work together in this direction.
The meeting ended with renewed assurance from parties to be law-abiding and civil in the discharge of duties. Best Orator reporting for Beetv News.
Oredo Local Government Council has warned residents of Benin City to disregard a fraudulent message currently circulating across SMS and social media platforms, urging individuals to register for a supposed 750,000 Naira grant titled NCTO TCF Rapid Response Register for Vulnerable Households. In a press release, the chairman of Oredo Local Government Council, Honorable Engineer Gabriel Uduseri, disassociated the council from the message, describing it as a scam designed to defraud unsuspecting members of the public. According to the statement, the suspicious link attached to the message did not originate from the local government, Edo State government, or any recognized government agency. Residents are strongly advised not to click, register, or submit personal or financial details through the platform, as doing so could expose them to identity theft, financial loss, and other cyber-related crimes. Honorable Duseri urged the public to verify all government-related information, grants, and social intervention programs through official channels and credible media platforms, noting that genuine government initiatives are properly communicated through authorized sources. Security agencies have been notified to investigate and take appropriate action against perpetrators of the fraudulent activity. The Council reaffirmed its commitment to safeguarding residents against misinformation and cyber fraud and urged the public to remain vigilant. The Edo State government has officially begun the process of restoring lands to verified property owners in Okeoroma community, starting with the issuance of offer letters to eligible beneficiaries following approval of the Committee on Land Restitution reports. The exercise represents a significant milestone in the state government's commitment to addressing past grievances and ensuring rightful citizens regain ownership of previously disputed properties. The report. For years, residents of Okeoroma community lived with pain of losing lands they described as lawfully acquired, following government acquisition and demolition exercises carried out under previous administrations. Many families were displaced, properties destroyed, and livelihood disrupted in the process. The land restitution exercise, which commenced today, marks a significant step towards addressing the long-standing grievances of affected residents and restoring confidence in governance. A large crowd of beneficiaries thronged the venue, arriving to receive their offer letters, described by officials as the official first step in the process of land allocation. During the exercise, the Commissioner for Lands and Housing also presented an offer letter to one of the affected victims, underscoring the human impact of the restitution process and the government's resolve to return land to its rightful owner.
People have said they should take their building back. Even the roofing they did is God's blessings on them, without charging them anything. So they are taking the building back. That big hotel you see along the road, where the profiling was done, these are the owners. It was seized by last government, yeah. So it's been given back to them, thanks to the government.
And roofing for himself.
Yeah. So
the house was not roofed before. He roofing for himself, but they collected it back now through this magnanimity of our government.
Exactly.
Thank you, Mr. Excellency.
Speaking during an interview with Beetv News, the Edo State Commissioner for Lands and Housing, Right Honorable Yakubu, explained that the committee was given a clear mandate by the Edo State government to return land to rightful owners and genuine developers. He said the process involved detailed profiling and verification to identify legitimate claimants after which a comprehensive report was submitted to the governor for consideration. According to him, approval was granted last Friday, paving the way for the issuance of offer letters and the upcoming physical allocation of plots to verified beneficiaries. The commissioner added that strict measures have been put in place to prevent land grabbing and address any future disputes, stressing that the government will not tolerate any attempts.
The governor gave us a mandate to return the land to the rightful owners and the developers by profiling, verifying, and arriving at those that are really owners. And we presented a report to him on Friday, last Friday. I gave us the go-ahead to give out the lands or allocate the land to the rightful owner. So first, before you become a rightful owner, you must have an offer letter. That's the process of getting a land. So the offer letter is what we are giving them today.
Also speaking, the Secretary of the State Land Restitution Council, Dr. Abdulwasiyu Oyaki, returned land to rightful owners without any financial burden. He emphasized that the initiative reflects the administration's commitment to justice, fairness, and the protection of ordinary citizens' rights across the state.
He's returning land back to the Aborigines, the original people who owns land, irrespective of who they are, whether they know nobody. The priority of the governor is the son of a nobody can become somebody without knowing anybody. And that's exactly what he's doing here, returning land back to the common man, land that was hitherto usurped from the people in the name of government mines. And we must thank His Excellency, the Distinguished Senator Monday Okpebolo, for the very exercise you find going on here today. These people are not paying a dime. The governor has said that the land should be returned back to the people who it was hitherto taken away from. And that's exactly what we are doing here.
One of the beneficiaries, Mrs. Elizabeth Idemudia, recounted the devastating impact of the previous demolition of her property, describing the emotional and financial hardship her family endured, including the tragic loss of her husband and their life savings. She expressed profound relief at finally receiving restitution. Another beneficiary added that the exercise has restored faith in governance, highlighting that many residents had long given up hope of ever reclaiming their rightful properties. The state's intervention has brought a renewed sense of justice and optimism to the community.
Good as our excellence Modo Pueblo is giving our land back, because I have two buildings in that place. The day Obaseki went to that place, I was even walking in my sight. When Obaseki came to look at government land, he dashed youth 200,000 that very day. I just surprised when they say it's government land. The two buildings I have for there was demolished by Obaseki. And my husband was think, because we even thought he's there, we want to do Christmas that time. My husband BP begin to high, because that land, my daughter went there UK, now I built the house for us before. Governor they do now, God go bless her. God go bless her. God go bless her. What thing they do, I like her. It's a government of all people. God go bless her. God go give her power. When go take carry the work, when they work now, may take carry her to the end.
Team of the Obaseki demolition. Being here, I want to say I'm very, very happy. I'm excited, knowing that very soon I'll gain possession of my property. So I want to use this opportunity to say a very big thank you to the governor of Edo State for making it possible for us to get our property back. I'm very, very happy. And
we appreciate you once again. Thank you very much. On behalf of my family, I will say thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to gain our property back again. May God Almighty bless you. Thank you very much.
The restitution exercise highlights Governor Monday Okpebolo's commitment to justice and citizen welfare, beginning with the issuance of offer letters to rightful owners and paving the way for the physical allocation of plots. Residents of Oke-Oroma have expressed renewed hope and confidence in governance, reflecting the administration's dedication to fairness, transparency, and people-centered policy. Zainab Mohammed reporting for Beetv News. Troops of Joint Task Force Northwest Operation Fansan Yama have achieved fresh successes in Kebbi and Zamfara states, eliminating terrorists and rescuing kidnapped victims. In Kebbi State, troops ambushed members of the Lakurawa terrorist group near Kerani village, killing 2 terrorists and recovering 2 motorcycles used by the group. In Zamfara State, a separate operation in Munhaye Forest led to the rescue of 62 kidnapped victims. Authorities are working to reunite them with their families, while follow-up operations continue to target criminal networks across the Northwest. The National Primary Healthcare Development Agency says it ranked 17th out of 357 in the 2025 ICPC Ethnic and Integrity Compliance Scorecard for ministries, departments, and agencies. At the Nigerian Reputation Summit in Abuja, the NPHCDA's Executive Director and CEO, Dr. Muyi Aina, said government officers must uphold high standards to enhance Nigerians' reputation. Dr. Muyi highlighted the Health Ministry's focus on governance reform led by the Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Ali Pati, aimed at improving integrity and transparency. He added that initiatives are underway to tighten controls and raise ethical standards across the ministry and its agencies.
Is leading is around the governance of the system, where all of our institutions were trying to improve integrity, improve transparency, and many things that we're doing. I won't have the time to go into them, but when I first came about a year ago, we had ranked 233rd out of 323 institutions that were assessed. I was very embarrassed, and I charged my team. I said, let's go on a journey. And the letter that I got, the assessment that they just did, we ranked 17th, which is a mark of the improved transparency and all, and we are going to first.
The FCT Police Commissioner Mila Dantawaya has urged residents of the nation's capital to promptly report suspicious activities to help curb vandalism and other criminal acts across Abuja. Speaking in Abuja while displaying items recovered from suspected vandals, FCT Police Commissioner Mila disclosed that 13 suspects were arrested during recent operations. The arrest led to the recovery of 296 armored cables, over 100 manhole covers, and 52 bags of 50 kg of marijuana. CP Dantayawa also urged residents to remain vigilant when boarding public vehicles, warning that criminals often operate from unauthorized motor parks to target unsuspecting commuters. He assured that the FCT Police Command remains committed to cracking down on illegal transport operators and criminal networks to ensure public safety.
Our raid operations, and those operations are yielding fruits, especially in conjunction with sister security agencies through Operation Sweep that was launched. So a lot has been going on, and we have leveraged on Operation Sweep to conduct raid operations, to conduct serious patrols within the city of FCT.
The Executive Chairman of the Edo State Internal Revenue Service, Honorable Barrister Otumba Oladele Balogun Bankole, and other members of the board have visited some manufacturing companies in Edo State, including Time Ceramics, Rongsheng Glass Nigeria, and Rohtag Industrial Park to inform them about the new tax laws and to seek possible cooperation with their companies. The report is presented by Best Orator.
The Executive Chairman of Edo State Internal Revenue Service, Honorable Barrister Otumba Oladele Bankole Balogun, alongside the Executive Director of Income Taxes, Honorable Patrick Okonrai, and the Executive Director of MDA Services, Honorable Engineer Jackson Eribo, and other members of staff, paid a courtesy visit to selected manufacturing companies in the Ikpobaha local government area. The visit was aimed at familiarizing the service with the operations of the manufacturing companies in recognition of their large-scale activities and significant contributions to Edo State economy. The Executive Chairman, Edo State Internal Revenue Service, expressed appreciation to the companies for their role in economic development and emphasized the need to strengthen collaboration between manufacturers and the state's revenue service. The engagement also focused on interaction with company management teams to ensure strict compliance with existing tax laws and regulations guiding business operations in Edo State.
Anyway, the reason for our company is purely to familiarize ourselves with your operations. You are obviously a massive company in Edo State, and we, on the one hand, want to thank you for being part of our economy and doing great things. And I think the time has come now that the Revenue Service and yourselves must work together.
Speaking further, Honorable Barrister Otumba Oladele Bankole Balogun stated that the service would critically assess the tax compliance status of the companies to ascertain whether their tax obligations are up to date. He urged the companies to cooperate fully with the Edo State Internal Revenue Service in the discharge of its statutory responsibilities.
I am going to be looking very, very critically, at your company. We are going to be looking very, very critically at your company, what you're doing, how you're doing it, and whether or not you're paying taxes up to date as they should be.
The Executive Chairman also commended Rohtag Glass Nigeria for its proactive impact in the state. He noted that the primary objective of the visit was to foster a closer working relationship that would ensure the company's full commitment to Edo State under the new tax laws, stressing that all corporate obligations must be carried out properly. He also commended Rohtag Industrial Park for its positive impact in Edo State. He emphasized that all corporate obligations must be duly and properly discharged in line with the law.
We know that you are a major company in Edo State, in Edo South. You employ a lot of our people, so we appreciate you for that. We say thank you. And we also know that you're doing very, very well from year to year. So we wanted to say say thank you, and also to say that as a revenue board, we also have a responsibility to His Excellency, the Executive Governor, and the people of Edo State to ensure that the tax revenue that we expect from organizations like yourselves is recouped properly, adequately, and timelessly. Because you are a major operator in Edo State in business, we don't want to use the big stick. We don't ever want to use the big stick for our partners because we see you as partners. So in terms of audit, in terms of your payee, in terms of your returns, and in terms of the accuracy of it, most importantly, we expect you to give us a true picture. Otherwise, we will do full investigations, full audits, and that will close your business down.
Responding, spokespersons for the companies reaffirmed their commitment to complying with all provisions of the tax laws and pledged to take all necessary steps to ensure full and responsible compliance. They also expressed appreciation to Edo State Governor Senator Monday Okpebholo for his ongoing developmental initiatives across the state.
We already have a little knowledge of the new tax and we will continue to keep a good relationship with all the government units, especially EIS. And we will obey all the compliance with all the regulations and the laws with you. And if we have to do something it's not so accurate for you, everyone can come.
In an interview with journalists, Honorable Barrister Otumba Oladele Bankole Balogun explained that the visit also served as an opportunity to formally brief company executives on the state tax policies and implementation framework. He emphasized the importance of full compliance, transparency, and cooperation with the Edo State Internal Revenue Service, noting that effective tax administration remains critical to sustainable development and improved service delivery across the state.
Time Ceramics is a major company doing business in Edo State. And as you know, the Board of Internal Revenue is charged with the responsibility of making sure that the state revenues are in order. So our purpose really today was to come and visit them and support them for the good work they're doing in terms of employment in Edo State and in terms of production. And also to say to them that we're looking at them very, very closely, and we want to work with them very, very closely to ensure that what is due to Edo State is not shortchanged at all. So that, in essence, is why I'm here today with my directors and some of our enforcement team, some of our audit team, and planning teams.
As part of the visit, the executive chairman of Edo State Internal Revenue Service earlier presented gifts to the public relations officers of the manufacturing companies in recognition of their outstanding performance and dedication. In a show of mutual goodwill, the companies reciprocated by presenting gifts to the EIROS chairman.
Very much indeed. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you very much. Thank you. I look forward to seeing you.
Thank you. From China.
Thank you very much.
This is some Chinese specialty.
Thank you very much indeed.
Yeah, cheap.
Thank you very much indeed.
Best Orator reporting for Beetv News.
Importers, manufacturers and port agents have outrightly rejected the recent increase in shipping charges, insisting the decision was taken without their consent. They made their position known at a strategic stakeholders meeting convened by the Nigerian Shippers Council in Lagos, aimed at addressing growing tensions over the disputed tariff hike. The report.
Strong opposition greeted the increase in shipping charges as key players in the maritime value chain gathered in Lagos. Importers, manufacturers, freight forwarders, and port agents were unanimous in rejecting the hike, citing a lack of due consultation prior to the announcement.
We are saying that we are rejecting it, and from at the end of this meeting, if the port charges are not reversed, we as stakeholders will go into meetings and will address the public going forward. But in this meeting, we've told them no, we are not accepting the charges. Every of the stakeholders, including the freight forwarders, rejected the charges.
There should be a template of the tariff increase, and we have to agree on the indices, and we have to agree on all the reasons for the increase. We are in Nigeria, they are operating in Nigeria. We are operating in under one economy. We can't accept just the shipping line waking up and just throw an increase of almost 60, 50, 70% on their tariffs. Just acceptable.
Even the manufacturers associations, importers association, every other association stays suspended, no increment till further notice, until we come back here to resolve, because we are still coming back for another meeting with each association.
In response, the management of the Nigerian Shippers Council acknowledged the concern raised and assured stakeholders that the matter would be thoroughly addressed.
They've made their own observations, which, being a good economic regulator that we are, and knowing that our mandate, is to promote fairness, transparency, and competition in the port, and efficiency, we have to listen to our stakeholders. Well, you all heard they said that we'll not carry them along. We've listened, and that is why we called them for this meeting.
The council reaffirmed its commitment to dialogue, transparency, and the protection of port users as discussion continues. Favor Kolawole reporting for Beetv News.
The Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adeboyega Oyetola, has expressed Nigeria's readiness to deepen bilateral cooperation with Denmark. The minister hosted the Danish ambassador to Nigeria, Mr. Jen Ole Bash Hassan, in his office, highlighting the vast opportunities within the marine and blue economy. He assured Danish investors of a favorable investment climate, strong institutional support, and attractive returns in Nigeria's maritime sector, describing Denmark as a valued maritime partner. The minister also commended the Danish government for its support towards Nigerian selection into Category C of the International Maritime Organization Council in November last year.
The shipping route is very important. Without that, you can't be talking of trade facilitation. So we'll be willing to collaborate on that. Again, we are modernizing our ports. The Apapa and Tinkan port were constructed some 60, 70 years ago. At that time, the size of vessel was so small. The draft level for now is about 13 meters, whereas with the kind of vessels that we have, the Panama type of vessels, you won't need anything less than 16, 18 meters draft. So we're trying to increase the draft of the existing port, modernize it to ensure efficiency of port operation. So both the Tinka and Apapa are already in the progress of being modernized.
From a Danish side, we believe that Nigeria and Denmark share a strong maritime identity. We are countries that are both exposed to the sea. We benefit from the sea. We live by the sea. We would be happy to learn from you, and we would also be happy to share with you our experiences in working with and around
The Minister of State for Works, Bello Gorono, is stepping up grassroots political coordination in support of President Bola Tinubu's administration at a strategic stakeholders meeting held in Abuja. The minister rallied all Progressive Congress leaders, youth groups, and federal appointees from the Northwest, reinforcing unity and commitment to the renewed hope agenda. The report.
The meeting focused on leadership, inclusion, and political alignment. The Minister of State for Works, Bello Mohammed Goroyo, hosted key stakeholders, bringing together party leaders, youth mobilizers, and federal appointees from across the Northwest. The gathering provided a platform for coordination, collaboration, and renewed commitments to the vision of President Bola Tinubu administration.
The occasion of today signal the demonstration of a kind of leadership we have in the APC. Truly, truly, your leadership has exemplified a true democracy, and you have our total support.
The minister highlighted the administration's infrastructure drive, pointing to ongoing and completed federal road projects as clear evidence of President Tinubu's commitment to economic growth and national integration.
We have found a president that is committed for the unity of this nation, that is committed for the progress of this nation, that is committed to making sure that things get better, and they have started getting better.
Party leaders described the meeting as timely, noting that it has strengthened the internal cohesion within the All Progressive Congress, particularly in consolidating the party's political base in the Northwest.
One take data-driven decision as a party, and that's the next step we are taking. And we'll be the first in Nigeria to have a data-driven decision political party in Nigeria.
We're here to support our president in delivering on his promises to Nigerians. We have deliverables that are for the North. The ministers are from the North. We've had several meetings where we want to ensure every promise made by this government is fulfilled. Every promise made in the whole Nigeria is fulfilled.
Senior presidential aides also praised the initiative, emphasizing the importance of sustained stakeholder engagement in driving policy acceptance and promoting national stability. The engagement ended with renewed assurance of loyalty and cooperation, as stakeholders applauded Minister Bello Mohammed Goroyo for his leadership and continued efforts to build broad-based support for the Tinubu administration. Favor Kolawole reporting for Beetv News.
The chairman of Ijebu Ode local government area of Ogun State, Dare Alebosun, has directed the Fusembuwa Rolling House and the Awujale Kingmakers to suspend the ongoing process for the selection of a new Awujale of Ijebu land. The directive followed alleged receipts of petitions, security reports, and complaints from concerned individuals, including allegations of irregularities and inducement of the selection process. The decision was conveyed in a letter dated January 20, 2026, addressed to the Awujale Kingmakers Council and signed by the Secretary to the Local Government Chairman, Oke Adebanjo. According to the letter, the action was taken after due consideration of the provisions of the Obas and Chiefs Law of Ogun State 2021, which empowers the government to set aside an appointment where it considers such action necessary in the interest of peace, order, and good governance. The Minister of Education, Dr. Olatunji Alausa, has inaugurated the National Working Committee of World Skills Nigeria in Abuja. The initiative aims to strengthen skills. 9th member of World Skills International. The report.
It was a broad gathering of policymakers and administrators focused on one goal: addressing leadership gaps and improving standards in the polytechnic subsector. Chairman of governing councils, commissioners of education, rectors, registrars, and bosses convened to review leadership practices and align institutional management with the federal government's education reform agenda.
To build on what we believe in, and because we know this president, whatever he's doing today is for the sustainable future. President is taking decisions. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is taking decisions today, not based on his own time, not based on our time, but based on the future of your grandchildren. And when you have the president doing that, you can be almost 100% certain that those policy decisions are 100% right. We are providing free tuition today at all our federal technical colleges and one state technical college.
The retreat also addressed practical challenges including financial management, administrative efficiency, and compliance with regulations, as the ministry pushes for greater transparency and institutional discipline. Participants described the engagement as timely, noting that it provided a platform for honest conversations, experience sharing, and renewed commitments to shared reform goals.
Truly exists, which is able to say I am. It is the degree of intuition of I amness that determines the place of a thing in the scale of being.
This is the first time in the history of this country, within the 2 years of administration of the government, they were able to resolve the union crisis in our society. We have been experiencing the ASU crisis that lingers more than decades, but just recently, we have seen the celebration of the sign of the agreement. And I know, with the enthusiasm of the minister, they are going to implement this to the fullest, and also the commitment in the entire education sector as a whole.
As the federal government positions education as a pillar of national development, the retreat signals a shift from policy discussion to concrete action. For the Minister of Education, it represents another step in a broader reform drive aimed at strengthening institutions and developing a more skilled Nigerian workforce. Favor Kolawole reporting for Beetv News.
We'll be going on a short break. Do well to stay with us.
I am Amadi Desmond Enabulele, the Executive Chairman of Edo State Sports Commission. For February 20th to 27th, this 2026, Edo State shall be hosting the second edition of the Niger Delta Games. It is the biggest regional sports competition in Africa, the largest convergence of pure talents in Nigeria, and the cradle of future champions. We invite you to come share the moment with us as we celebrate the brotherhood of Niger Delta in the historical city of Benin, the home of sports.
Attention, employers and taxable persons in Edo State. Pursuant to the Nigerian Tax Administration Act 2025, the Edo State Internal Revenue Service (EIRS) issues a formal demand for your annual tax returns. Employers of labor, your deadline to file H1 and payee schedules is January 31st, 2026. Individual taxpayers, you must file your self-assessment Form A by March 31st, 2026. Log on to payee.eirs.gov.ng to download the Excel template and upload your forms H1 and H3. For Form A, send your completed filings to efilings@eirs.gov.ng. Failure to file is an offense. Employers risk 1 million naira penalty or up to 3 years imprisonment. Individuals face an initial 100,000 naira fine and 50,000 naira for every month of delay. Ensure employees' names match their tax IDs. For inquiry, visit any EIRS office or call 0813-097-0146. Play your part. Pay your tax. It's the law. EIRS, administering revenue for service and development.
Welcome back, and now to the world of business. Nigerians spent an estimated 1.58 trillion naira on petroleum in December 2025, according to fuel consumption data from the Nigeria Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority. The regulator's December fact sheet showed average daily petroleum consumption of 63.7 million liters, bringing total nationwide usage for the month to about 1.97 billion liters. The report.
Using an average pump price of roughly 800 naira per litre across major cities, total consumer spending was calculated by multiplying total consumption by the prevailing market price. Although Dangote Refinery reduced prices in December to as low as 739 naira per litre, many filling stations, particularly in northern Nigeria, sold petrol above 800 naira during the festive period. Fuel consumption remained high due to increased travel, festive movement, higher commercial activities, and greater reliance on petrol power generators. December traditional records elevated fuel usage because of holiday logistics and power needs, which explains the unusual large spending recorded during the youth season. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, plans to conduct its second Treasury bill auction for January 2026, offering instruments worth 1.15 trillion naira. The auction reflects the Apex Bank's continuing reliance on short-term borrowing to manage liquidity and support government financing needs amid strong banking system liquidity. The offer spans the three standard tenor: 150 billion naira for 91-day bills, 200 billion naira for 182 billion bills, and 800 billion for 364 days bills. The one-year instrument accounts for the bulk of the issuance, highlighting the government's preference for short-term domestic funding. Market participants are closely watching the auction for signals on interest rate direction. With mixed inflation data and sustained monetary tightening, investors are cautious, and the auction outcome is expected to shape expectation for short-term yields in the coming month. Paralex Banks PLC has reaffirmed its commitment to youth development by sponsoring the 2025 Future Africa Leaders Award. The initiative recognizes young Africans making significant contribution to development across sectors such as education, technology, healthcare, agriculture, and social innovation. The 2025 edition, organized by the Future Africa Leaders Foundation, honored 10 outstanding young leaders from across the continent. The top prize went to Rejoice Waitera, a 23-year-old Kenyan agripreneur and humanitarian noted for impactful projects in food security, waste management, and community health. Speaking at the award ceremony, Paralex Bank's managing director, Dr. Olufemi Bake, said the sponsorship reflects the bank's confidence in Africa's youthful population. He emphasized that empowering young leaders is key to redefining the continent's long-term development and economic trajectory. Favor Kolawole reporting for Beetv News.
A now viral video captures Nollywood actor Charles Okocha's reaction after Nigerian TikToker Pella requested to take his daughter on a date. In a TikTok live stream, Pella, who recently crashed his Mercedes-Benz in December 2025, assumed Charles Okocha's daughter was 20 years old and was corrected about her actual age.
In reaction to Pele's request, Charles Okocha exclaimed, "What?" highlighting his protectiveness towards his daughter. The actor further requested Pele be brought to him and vowed to deal with the TikToker. It would be recalled that in December 2025, Charles Okocha received a $50,000 cash gift from billionaire businessman Tony Elumelu as a Christmas gift. A video captured him unwrapping the cash wrapped in an envelope while inside UBA bank premises. In another development, Nigerian lady who received a #6 million cash gift from the famous music producer Don Jazzy relocates to the UK, appreciating him for his support. The lady, known as Popo Olajoke 4, had taken to X to lament over her lack of funds, opining that she only had 67 naira in accounts. Fortunately for her, the music producer Don Jazzy made her an instant millionaire by gifting her 6 million naira. She recently took to the social networking platform to reveal that she had left the shores of Nigeria for abroad. Sharing photos from her flight, she appreciated Don Jazzy for his support. Popular Nigerian streamer Pele chases after American streamer Aisha Speed on a horse as he begged for recognition, only to get ignored again. Recall that the American streamer, who is currently touring Africa, recently arrived Lagos, where he was welcomed by a large crowd of fans. The Nigerian TikToker Pele, who had tried to make acquaintance with the streamer, only to get bundled out by his bodyguard. Nigerians have berated Pele over his overzealousness, which cost him a public embarrassment. Not stopping, Pele chased after Aisha Speed's convoy on a horse, begging the American to recognize him while reassuring him that he is also a big influencer. Favor Kolawole reporting for Beetv News.
Eight stadiums across Australia were on Thursday locked in as host venues for the 2027 Rugby World Cup, with all matches in Melbourne to be played under a closed roof. Sydney Olympic Stadium, an 80,000-seat venue purpose-built for the 20,000 Olympics in the city's west, will be the most heavily used. It will host the final on November 13th, the third-place playoff, both semi-finals, 2 last 8 clashes and 2 pool games. A second venue in the city, the centrally located and recently built 42,500 capacity Sydney Football Stadium, will be home to the 3 pool matches and 2 round of 16 clashes. Perth Stadium, which can hold 60,000, is where the tournament will kick off on October 1st. It will play host to 6 other games. The 53,000 capacity Docklands Stadium in Melbourne is the only one with a retractable roof, which will remain closed for all 8 matches there. Several venues will be familiar to fans who experienced the last Rugby World Cup in Australia in 2003, including Adelaide Oval and Brisbane Stadium, where a combined 16 games will take place.